I stand there on the stage. The cheap blue polyester gown clinging to my skin like a second layer of sweat under the gymnasium lights. The diploma folder slips from my numb fingers, thudding against the wooden planks. But no one notices because all eyes are on him, Richard Harrington. My adoptive father for 16 long years, marching up like he owns the damn place. And he does. In a way, his real estate empire buys influence everywhere in this Ohio town. His polished shoes echo. His silver hair gleams. And his voice booms over the speakers. Excuse me, folks. I've got an announcement about my daughter. Emily. Daughter. The word twists in my gut like a knife. But she's not really mine. Is she? DNA doesn't lie. A gasp rolls through the crowd of nearly 400 parents, friends, locals who've known the Harringtons forever. The AC kicks in overhead, humming like a bad omen. Your college fund's gone. Effective now. You're not blood. I can't breathe. Phones whip out. Recording what was supposed to be my triumph, community college graduation. Not Ivy League. But mine. Whispers ripple. Is he serious? But I know Richard. He's not drunk. He's calculated. What he doesn't know is I've been calculating too. My hand brushes the folded DNA report in my pocket, the one proving something uglier than my outsider status. I was planning to confront him privately next week, after locking down my apartment deposit. But plans shatter like glass under pressure. I was 3 when the Harringtons pulled me from the Ohio foster system. 3 placements in 18 months had wired me to read adults like open books, spotting the signs that might send me packing again. Their mansion was all cold granite and echoing halls. But Catherine, my adoptive mom, carved out warmth in the corners. The house is just walls, she'd murmur while we baked in that pristine kitchen, her hands steadying mine as we folded walnuts into brownie batter without crushing them. Richard was different, love as a ledger. Straight A's got a nod, perfect debate team captain earned a shoulder pat. When I clinched the state math Olympiad at 12, he finally muttered, "You might amount to something." I navigated his conditional world through sheer grind, valedictorian, first chair violin, every trophy a down payment on belonging. Now, I force a smile, not the broken one he wants, but the composed one Catherine taught for tough spots. When they try to break you, she said, dignity's your sharpest blade. My pulse thunders, but I square my shoulders and stride to the mic. Running would feed his ego, tears would fuel the gossip mill. Neither fits my endgame. The crowd hushes as I near. Richard steps aside, his smirk faltering at my calm. He expected hysterics. Not this steel. Mr. Harrington raises a fair point about blood, I say, voice steady as the mic amplifies it across the silent gym. Families bigger than genes. My fingers steady, I pull out the report. The one matching little Oliver's DNA to Uncle Michael's. Not Richard's. Horrified murmurs spread, parents hush kids. An old lady fans herself with the program. The dean half stands, unsure. I glance at Richard, his confidence crumbles as he clocks what I'm holding. What I know. What I'm about to unleash. The flashbacks hit like punches since I spotted the pattern a month back. Sorting Victoria's schedule on the family app, a chore she dumped on me. Claiming my organizational wizardry was a family boon. Every Tuesday, 2 to 4 p.m., yoga with Lisa. But Lisa's studio shuts at 1 on Tuesdays. I knew from driving Victoria there once when her Mercedes was in the shop. It might have stayed a white lie if I hadn't seen Uncle Michael's Tesla idling outside the lakeside in that same afternoon, his weekly investor meet, bumped to Wednesdays every time. The app was open when 2-year-old Oliver waddled in, hugging his toy truck. "Emmy, play," he demanded, clambering onto my bed. I turned, and sunlight hit his profile. My stomach dropped. How had I missed it? The Harrington hawk knows. shared by Richard and his siblings, absent on Oliver. Instead, that subtle curve, those hooded eyes, the dimpled chin, pure Uncle Michael. My hands shook closing the laptop. The avalanche of implications buried me. If Oliver wasn't Richard's, then my college fund, siphoned into his trust, was funding a lie. Sick? Oliver asked, tilting his head. I faked a grin, tousling his curls. Just thinking. Kiddo. Trucks or blocks. He wasn't the villain. The adults weaving this web were. That night, crystal clinked on fine china as Victoria ruled the dining table from Catherine's old seat, claimed weeks after marrying Richard. More salmon for Mr. Harrington. Clara. Clear her plate already. And Oliver's sippy cup, the red one. Not blue, she directed the maid with seamless command. Like she'd always reigned here. I poked at my quinoa, studying Oliver. Now, the resemblance screamed. Your dad and I reviewed your college options, Victoria chirped, her tone laced with fake cheer for subtle digs. Community college fits your circumstances better. My fork scraped the plate. My circumstances? Richard coughed. The trust Catherine and I set up? Redirected to Oliver. He's the legacy now. That was for my education, I measured out. Columbia was the dream since middle school. Dreams evolve. Victoria sliced her steak neatly. Community's fine for someone like you. You're not a real Harrington. After all, the silence stung like frostbite. That's not what Mom said. I locked eyes with Richard. His jaw tightened. Teen drama. Emily. Catherine would have seen the practicality. Oliver's my heir. Is he? I nearly spat, but swallowed it. The DNA kit stashed in my drawer would settle that. I set my fork down precisely. My dorm deposits due next week. The Columbia letter says so. We've been meaning to chat about that. Victoria cut in. The family match for your aid? Too much. Given priorities. Priorities. Code for Oliver. Without it, the scholarship evaporates. Richard shrugged. Maybe it's best. Your grades are solid. But Columbia? That's overreaching. Each word chipped at my core. For a beat, I pictured folding, settling for local classes. A dingy apartment. Retail shifts while my horizon shrank to Victoria's mold. May I be excused? Habit 1. Sure. Sweetie, Victoria smiled. Eyes cold. I baked your favorite, chocolate lava cake. My favorite was apple pie. Another erasure. 3 days on. The lab email pinged during my library shift. On break. Hands quaking. I opened it. Charts blurred till the verdict. 99.8% probability Oliver Harrington and Michael Harrington are father-son. Uncle Michael. Calm flooded the fear-proof. Ironclad. Staring at those stats. I weighed, private showdown. Letting them spin excuses? Or public blast? Where silence couldn't bury me. Privacy might save scraps of family. Publicity ensured my voice echoed. The invite to Oliver's second birthday landed in my mail 4 days later, not email, but fancy embossed cardstock. Echoing Catherine's style. Moments like this deserve ink, she'd say. But 3 days out, Victoria called. Casual as poison. About the party, guest list trimmed. Capacity issues. Capacity for a toddler bash? I gripped the phone. Got it. I did. 40 of Richard's clients and wives would watch Victoria play perfect matron. My shadow would smear it. That night, my feed blew up Mrs. Patel, Catherine's bridge buddy, posting her gift for darling Oliver. Even my old tutor, Mr. Klein, RSVP'd gushingly. By dawn, I'd vanished from their orbit, ghosted by consensus. Tuesday, Richard summoned me to his study, reeking of citrus polish and his cedar aftershave. Selling the house, he declared, silhouetted against the window. Market's hot. Oliver needs a clean slate. My home, the yard where Catherine named birds. The kitchen of cookie disasters. The nook where I devoured Austin. When? Listing next week. Designer says Reno now. Workers swarmed. My stuff started vanishing. A photo of Catherine and me at the zoo. My handmade pottery from art class. Then books, Catherine's curated classics. The quilt from her mom. Must have gone to donations by mistake, Victoria cooed. She never checked. After the third, I quit asking. Hauling treasures in my backpack, Catherine's pearl earrings. My Columbia waitlist letter. A carved wooden bird from her last vacation. Vigilance ground me down, I timed movements. 8 standing. Avoided overlaps. 1:03 a.m. I jolted awake. Sensing intrusion. The knob turned. Victoria's shadow lingered 30 seconds. Then retreated. Next day, I wedged a doorstop. I journaled obsessively, dates. Quotes. Secret recordings. Armor against their mind games. Proof I wasn't crazy. Remember Catherine's travel diaries? I tested Richard one dusk. His face iced. She was overly nostalgic. She. Not Mom. The Gap screamed. Postlit class Thursday. Professor Ramirez held me back, petite. With salt pepper hair and chain-dangling glasses. Your piece on chosen family hit home, she said. Slighting not my essay, but a form. Apply, you deserve it. The Emancipated Youth Scholarship. Full ride. It shook in my grip. That night, I cornered Richard in his office. Victoria's luncheon chatter drifting up. My trust fund, we talk now. He didn't glance up. Nothing to say. Reallocated to Oliver, better ROI. His eyes met mine. Be thankful we took you in. Most Fosters get zilch. The slap of words winded me. But I held firm. Thanks don't cover lies. Catherine would be disgusted. He flushed. Laughed brittle. Grow up. But it ignited me. This wasn't just my path, it was honoring her legacy of integrity. Morning after. Professor Ramirez linked me to Sarah in aid, efficient. Treating me like a contender. Not pity case. Foster priority, she checked forms. Will bridge with emergency grants. Their no-strings belief unlocked me to voice bolder. Plot sharper. 2 weeks pre-grad. I rehearsed my speech in the empty hall. Official version bland thanks, my real one raw. Mic stays hot, AV guy Nate promised. Grad day. I zipped my gown steady. Pocket heavy with the report. Spotting Richard in row 5. Smug. I felt power brew, he thought he held cards, I had aces. Back on stage. Post his bombshell. The crowd's gaze weighs like lead. But prep steals me, his public gut punch gifts me the arena. Realization spreads, misses. Patel gasps, Richard's club buddy averts eyes. His sterling rep. Curated over years. Fractures fast. Murmurs ignite, disowning her here? Monster. Mental break. Seconds tick, blurt the DNA. Mirror his cruelty? Or rise above? Dignity intact? Justice or more wreckage? Before I choose. Professor Ramirez ascends the steps. Robes billowing. Hand on my shoulder. Emily, she projects mic free. This is yours. The envelope, scholarship seal. My independence ticket. From the wings. Sarah strides up. Miss Harrington, stressing the name. Aid approved. Another envelope. The crowd absorbs this solidarity, I'm not discarded. Applause sparks. Builds. Victoria's poise cracks, purse gripped white-knuckled. Neighbor shifts away. A reporter near exits jots notes, phones record. This is viral fodder. The dean stammers, proceed. But I claim the mic. Report in pocket. Actually. Truth time. Richard advances. Shoes clicking. Checkbook drawn like a sword. Crowd buzzes as he fakes warmth. Emily. Private chat. His pen clicks shaky. What's your number? Once? It'd kill me. Now. It's pathetic. Truth's priceless. Richard. He hisses low. Consequences if you push. Think what you lose. I'd calculated losses for years. Now. Scales tip. I know consequences, lived them since Catherine died. I seize the mic. Blood's not all. As he said. Which makes this betrayal worse. Report unfolds, stats memorized. This DNA proves Oliver isn't Richard's son, 99.8% match to Uncle Michael. Words detonate, shocks wave out. Screens flare with scans, Nate delivers. Dean gapes. Slumps. Richard pales. Crushes his check. Victoria's affair with Michael predates Catherine's death, the one who gutted my fund. Deemed me lesser. Phones blaze, damn echoes. Deceit cracked us. Not truth, I Richard. Victoria bolts row 3. Heels stabbing. Purse shield. Whispers dog her, questions ignored. Screen counter climbs, 15K views. 20K live on TikTok. By night. The county knows. Grads. Congrats, I step back. Build on honesty. I snag my diploma case inside. Extra heft. An envelope. Catherine's script. To Emily. On graduation. Murmurs about Victoria's exit. Divorce buzz. Dean approaches. PR mode. But the letter anchors me. Words distilled from beyond. Futures unknown. Richard rebuild? Oliver lost? Family dissolve? But freedom pulses. First since her passing. A year on. My 400-square-foot Boston walk-up bathes in dawn glow. Cozy against the Harrington chill. I arrange pics on my thrift desk from mentoring at the Youth Empowerment Hub. Kids' grins beam. Vulnerable yet fierce. Last session. A 9-year-old boy with wary eyes asked why I volunteer. Because showing up matters, I said. Kettle steams, I pour coffee. Relishing solitude, no staged meals. No earned affection. Text from Professor Ramirez, set for the talk? Ready as rain. I iron my gray skirt. Before 30 foster teens at the seminar. Podium firm. Their guarded faces mirror my old self. My story starts in fracture, I begin. Voice even. And pivots on choices imposed and claimed. A back row kid nods. Escape plans etched in his stance. I thought family was papers or blood. Wrong, it's truth you forge. Words land true. Forged in pain, their claps heal scars. A firm growth. Evening. My space hosts a crew, Ramirez with fresh scones. Sarah with a fern, 4 roots. Hub pals cram the couch. Laughs real. To chosen kin, Sarah toasts. Echo lingers. I unfold Catherine's letter, a memory book. Unseen pics of us. Her joy raw. Her words, love unbound. Last page, my Hub internship offer. Stashed pre-death like foresight. Knock jars me. Richard at the door. Diminished. Papers in hand, trust restoration notarized. Facing him post-grad. Bridges tempt, rebuild cautious. Or guard my hard-won ground. Forgiveness? Not erasure. But boundaries when wounds hold your history shards.